What is denied by everyone but is actually 100 real. Diseases aren't random. Genetic diseases not included. Our bodies are in a dance with our environment. The things we do or are exposed to make us sick or not sick. That being said, I don't think most people are individually responsible for most of their illnesses because our collective decisions to shape the world how it currently is not under the average person's control. We've made our lives better and more secure in many ways. But many of these changes have had negative health consequences. The full impact of pretty privilege. Being overweight as a woman or being short or balding as a man don't just impact your dating chances, they impact your treatment in the workplace, how strangers react to you, random acts of kindness by others, even dumb shit like the niceties you get checking out at the grocery store. And it's also incredibly sensitive. I'm thin but can see a difference in how others treat me within the range of 5-7 pounds. It's maddening. Alexa or Google or something is listening and tracking us. I keep telling my husband this is true, it can't be a coincidence, but he won't believe me. For example, I was just mindlessly talking about Matt McConaughey to my husband one night, then poof, the next day on my YouTube feed Interstellar shows up. I've never watched anything from Matt McConaughey on YouTube in my life. I have so many instances of this happening, it can't be coincidence that they are a hypocrite. Fact is, every human being is a hypocrite in some way, shape or form. Few quick examples. People will always say that they are against child labor, yet I guarantee they will have many items of clothing that is made by child labor. People will say that it's disgraceful how employers like Amazon treat their employees, but will often buy items from Amazon. We all are hypocrites on some level. If you follow WAP News at all, it's becoming more and more clear that world governments genuinely have been covering up an extraterrestrial presence on Earth, and we're pretty close to the point of official disclosure. Most people still treat it like it's a ridiculous subject, but if you listen to any of the relevant experts, they're all taking it very seriously. Straight white guys having feelings, Lamau. I get insulted and harassed for my appearance somewhat often at my school art major, and everybody plays it off as well. He's tough and nothing bad can ever happen to him. I try to be mindful and respectful towards everybody. Just because my ancestors treated people like shit doesn't mean I'm like them. Snipes. In the US, it's a common practical joke for grown-ups to send kids snipe hunting in the field. It keeps the kids busy and the adults can have some time by themselves. A lot of people think there is no such thing as a snipe, but there is. It's a type of bird and they're actually pretty common. It probably is hard to catch one though. COVID is still the 4th leading cause of death in America, behind heart disease, cancer, and accidents like car accidents. It's kind of weird that one of the leading causes of death didn't exist 4 years ago. It's like if cancer had never existed, then just magically appeared one day. Superman shouldn't fly. I know there's all that blah 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 about him being from a planet where gravity is 100 times stronger than Earth's, but he should just jump very high, not fly, and he also shouldn't stop in the air and change direction, unless he had a jet thruster built into his suit. Nerdy women being as toxic as nerdy guys can be. If anything, people do all this talk to justify it all. Guys understand it completely, but they just want nerdy women to practice what people preach when it comes to them and other nerdy guys. It's not baseless sexism or anything close. The negative effects of alcohol not on the individual but on the societal level. Just look up fetal alcohol spectrum disorder. Think of traits you don't like in people and go compare. Conspiracies at various levels of power, public and private sector, are probably happening pretty often. As far as what exactly, without sufficient evidence, you can't really say. But to think a conspiracy theory has never happened seems naive. It really is up to you to make changes. Yes, your environment, background, and relationships can potentially be limiting. However, at the end of the day, it is truly on you and no one else to decide how your life will play out. Outside of natural events, things usually only happen or are allowed to happen because they benefit wealthy or powerful people. Also, most really big things that happen are outside of humanity's control. Reptilian aliens, Zionist gay liberals controlling everything. Wake up, sheeple! Beware the hollow moon space station with its 5G COVID death ray that turns you gay. Don't say you weren't warned. The worst thing you can imagine happening to you can happen to you. Wonder is in the way and now I've lost the person I love the most. It can happen. No matter how bad. It can happen to you. Joe Rogan is the mainstream news. He gets twice as many views than Tucker Carlson, Fox News and CNN combined. He gets 10 times what CNN gets on average per episode. 11 million versus 822K. Everyone? Meaninglessness. There's no particular reason why things are the way they are. But we need to believe in something in order to function, or we'd just lay down till we died. We're in a fucking recession. Just because companies are making profits doesn't mean the consumer economy isn't literally on fire. Corporate profits do not equal consumer profits. They actually do put stuff in the water that makes the frogs gay. Okay, technically it's not making them gay, it's making them hermaphrodites. It's a pesticide called atrazine. That's the common. Slow and steady or quick and sudden, but one way or another, it lands at our doorstep. Most of us live as if we're above it or it won't happen to us. The reality of sexual attraction. It either exists or not, and no amount of yapping, ranting or wishful thinking changes it because it's a spontaneous feeling. All the comfort we have today is due to oil, gas and coal. Either there'll be none left one day, or we're gonna make the planet a burning hell. No middle point. Fat and obesity costs and inconveniences everyone. Smokers stinking like the scent strip on Trump's diaper. That breath mint of yours ain't cutting it. Weather modification. China used it at the 2008 Summer Olympics opening ceremonies, and we can only imagine how many other times it has been used. Having a favorite child. Parents will never say they have a favorite. We love all three of you equally, but we all know they have a favorite. Not everyone denies we don't know the long-term effects of multiple COVID infections, so it shouldn't be written off as mild. I'm convinced a significant percentage of parents regret having kids at all. And they might not even admit it to their partners. In the vast majority of cases, being overweight is a choice, or rather, a decision to prioritize some things over others. Aging, it's not a disease, it's not faulty, and despite lucky or unlucky attempts to evade, it's still going to happen. Russians manipulated the 2016 elections for Trump, because he has been laundering their money in the US since the 1980s. Listening to audiobooks while you walk your dog isn't reading. Edit every downvote is just proof of my assertion. Not only did Jeffrey Epstein appear to be Trump's best friend, but he appeared to be Trump's only friend, ever. People tend to treat you based on fuckability attractiveness. They like to say they don't, but it's simply not true. Artificial intelligence is already loose on the internet and asking questions to learn more. From actual humans. Terrorbug, Roaring Moon and Ice Punch Dusknoir are actual viable SVOE meta threats. Competitive Pokemon. The immense suffering of the majority of the 80 billion animals we raise for meat, dairy and eggs. Losing weight is simply consuming less calories than you burn. There are no other parts to it. Most evil powerful people are actively supported and encouraged by everyday good people. Well denied by the White House but is believed by no one is that inflation is going down. Money doesn't buy happiness. Watch me leave IKEA full of joy with a 100 centimeters plus shark. Denied by everyone? I don't think there is anything that everyone denies that is true. Myers Game. Well, less denied by everyone, but it's realized and it exists. Females commit rapes on TV. Men can be victims of them. It is not rare. We're all gonna die because we didn't want to invest in science education. Climate change. And the fact that paper straws solve absolutely nothing. Santa existing. I know that jolly fucker is out there somewhere. Rampant physical and medical abuse in mental health facilities. My oldest child calls his youngest brother the chosen one. Raised eyebrow. The US elections are tampered with every year by both sides. This sub is just an endless repeat of the same questions. If it is happening to someone else, it can happen to you. Favorite child is the one that empties the dishwasher. Being an owner of a pet does not make you a parent.